Part 1. The day everything was supposed to be perfect. Everyone says your wedding day should be the happiest day of your life. Mine started with a gut feeling. Not butterflies. Not nerves. More like dread. The venue was stunning. Ivy-covered arches, twinkling lights, a live string quartet. My fiancée, Rachel, had planned everything down to the color of the napkins. And it was beautiful. Picture perfect. Except I couldn't shake this gnawing feeling, like something was off. Part 2. The envelope. 2 hours before the ceremony, I found a small envelope in my tux pocket. No name. No handwriting. Just a flash drive inside. There was also a sticky note. You deserve the truth. A friend. I stared at it for 5 whole minutes. Then, heart pounding, I plugged it into my laptop. The file name. Rachel_truth.mov. My hands were shaking. But I pressed play. Part 3. The video that changed everything. The video opened with a hotel hallway. Room 309. A timestamp from 3 nights ago. And then, Rachel appeared on camera, wearing the same robe I'd seen in her suitcase. She was kissing someone. Not just anyone. My best man, Tyler. Part 4. The rage, the silence. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just went still. The next 20 minutes passed in a haze. Tyler was downstairs, drinking whiskey, making jokes. Rachel was in her bridal suite, taking photos in her white dress. My parents were beaming. Her parents were paying. I almost walked away. I almost left in silence. But then I realized, no. If I was going to lose everything, I was going to lose it on my terms. Part 5. The vows no one expected. At the altar, Rachel smiled at me like she hadn't shattered my world. The pastor asked if we'd prepared personal vows. She nodded eagerly. Her vow was beautiful, heartfelt, teary-eyed. Then it was my turn. I reached into my pocket, pulled out the flash drive, held it up. Before I say anything, I think you should all watch this. The silence in the church? You could hear hearts breaking. Part 6. The flash drive plays. The screen behind the altar lit up. Yes, I had arranged this. 5 minutes before the ceremony, I gave the tech guy the file and told him to press play if I said so. Rachel's face froze. She whispered, "What are you doing?" The guests watched in silence. Room 309. Her robe. Tyler. Every kiss. Every laugh. Every betrayal. In front of 120 people. Then my voice broke the silence. This was 3 nights ago. My best friend. My fiancé. My wedding. Part 7. The fallout. Rachel ran off the altar. Tyler didn't even look guilty. He just muttered, "Dude, I didn't think you'd find out like this." My mother gasped. Her father shouted, "You embarrassed my daughter in front of everyone." I looked at him and said, "No, she did that to herself." I took off my ring, left it on the altar, and I walked out, alone, but free. Part 8. The aftermath. The next few weeks were a blur. Rachel tried to call me. Tyler texted, "Let's talk man to man." I blocked both. Friends were divided. Some said I went too far. Others called me a legend. I didn't care. I moved into a new apartment, sold the honeymoon tickets, donated the money, and I started therapy. Not for her. For me. Part 9. The letter. 2 months later, I got a letter. Handwritten. From Rachel. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. But I wanted you to know, it wasn't just cheating. It was fear. I didn't believe I was worthy of being truly loved. And you were too good to me. So I broke it. I'll carry the shame forever. But part of me is glad you exposed it. Because now I finally see myself. And I hate who I was. I read it once. Then burned it. Part 10. A New Beginning. A year passed. I hadn't dated anyone. I didn't want to. But one day, at a bookstore, I bumped into a woman. Literally. She spilled her coffee on my sleeve. We laughed awkwardly. She offered to buy me another shirt. We ended up talking for 2 hours. Her name was Elena. She had scars of her own. Not the visible kind. But she smiled like she'd survived something, too. And I understood that smile. Part 11. Not the wedding I expected. 2 years later, I stood at another altar. Same tuxedo. Different woman. No flash drives this time. Only love. Only truth. As I looked at Elena, I whispered to myself, "Thank you, Rachel, for breaking me just enough, so I could finally be whole." Part 12. The silence after the storm. After that wedding day, I expected closure. But you don't just move on from betrayal, you drag it with you. I couldn't sleep for weeks. Every night I replayed it, Rachel's face, the guest's silence, the shock. The moment the projector screen came alive. People said I should feel proud. I just felt empty. Part 13. My best man turned ghost. Tyler vanished after that day. He deleted social media, quit his job, left town. I heard from a mutual friend that he moved back in with his parents. Apparently, his fiancée dumped him too. She saw the video on TikTok. I didn't feel vengeance. Just disappointment. He was like a brother once. Part 14. My mom's secret. 3 weeks after the wedding, my mom sat me down. She hesitated, then said, "I never told you this, but your dad cheated on me too. On our honeymoon." I was stunned. I stayed. I thought love meant forgiveness. But now, I wonder if I just didn't love myself enough. She squeezed my hand. "You did the right thing, son. You chose yourself." Part 15. The therapist's question. In therapy, my counselor asked, "If Rachel had come clean before the wedding, would you have married her anyway?" I didn't answer, because the truth scared me. Part of me would have tried to fix it. That part of me is dead now. Part 16. Elena's past. Elena, the woman from the bookstore, was different. Kind. Grounded. Quiet strength in her eyes. But on our 5th date, she told me something that shook me. "I was engaged once too. He hit me. The last time, I ended up in the ER." She showed me the scar behind her ear. I held her hand. "You're safe now." Part 17. The wedding invitation. 1 year later, I got a wedding invitation. Guess whose? Rachel and Tyler. No joke. Handwritten note inside. "We've changed. We're in therapy. We hope one day you can forgive us." I stared at it, then lit a match. Part 18. Elena's panic attack. On a weekend getaway, I reached for her shoulder in the dark. She flinched. Hard. She curled up and whispered, "Please, not again." My heart broke. I held her all night. Love isn't just romance. Sometimes it's protection. Part 19. I found the hotel room. 6 months later, I had a weird impulse. I returned to the hotel. Room 309. It was just a room. Cleaned. Fresh sheets. New carpet. But I sat on that bed, closed my eyes, and said, "This place doesn't own me anymore." And it didn't. Part 20. The apology that came too late. 2 years later, Rachel emailed me. She was pregnant. She wrote, "I still think about you. Sometimes I wonder if I destroyed the only person who truly loved me." She attached a sonogram photo. I never replied. Some ghosts deserve to stay ghosts. Part 21. The ring in the drawer. I still had the wedding ring. It had been sitting in my drawer for years. One rainy night, I took it out, turned it in my fingers. Then I dropped it in the river. Some things aren't meant to be pawned. Only let go. Part 22. The fight with Elena. No love is perfect. Elena and I had our first big fight. She thought I was still haunted by Rachel. She said, "You say you love me, but part of you still lives in that video." I almost left. Instead, I said, "I love you not because I forgot what hurt me, but because you remind me what healing looks like." She cried. Then she kissed me like it was the first time. Part 23. My brother's wedding. My younger brother got married. He asked me to be best man. I hesitated. The word best man tasted bitter, but I said yes. At the wedding, I gave a short toast. Love isn't perfect, but real love makes you want to be. The guests clapped. Elena smiled. Part 24. I proposed on a bench. Not a fancy venue. No spotlight. Just a wooden bench in the park where I first kissed Elena. I knelt down and said, "I've seen what love isn't, and now I want to build what love can be." She whispered yes through tears. Part 25. The wedding that healed me. It wasn't a big wedding. 30 guests. String lights. Homemade cake. But when I looked at Elena, walking down the aisle, I knew this wasn't revenge. This was rebirth. I married the woman who never broke me, because she knew what broken felt like.